I'm just like, how hard is it? But then I looked at the paperwork and I told her, I was like, there is no spot for work from home.
I know, because I could kind of talk to you, but like, you know, when I talk to you and you're not giving like appropriate responses.
Yeah.
Like worries, it just seems like it's other like. Did someone bother Wendy?
Not yet.
Or do you think they will?
Well, I think
it's important that you see me before Sunday.
Well, where exactly are you going to be tomorrow? That is off tomorrow, so maybe we get a chance to use it. Something very good.
Well, I'm meeting Doug in the afternoon. I haven't texted. I haven't texted Adam yet. I'm supposed to meet him at some point. But just, I mean, I can set up a meeting with him at any time. I mean, do you want to come up to my house in the morning or?
That must be a good idea.
Because I'll tell you what, I don't want to wait.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you wait, and something that could have been nipped in the bud early becomes something that doesn't get nipped in the bud early, and then it snowballs out of control.
Yeah, so maybe tomorrow, maybe up early. So once we got, maybe for breakfast or something around. You want to meet Charlotte for breakfast, Charlotte? Yeah. You want us to come to you, right?
Well, traffic is, I could, let me find out.
Check your schedule and then we'll work something out, okay?
Yeah, let me do that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Sounds good. Let's discuss that one if you check.
I mean, I think it's just better that things get nipped in the bud early.
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't just call and let me know.
There's reasons. Let me talk to you tomorrow. You figure out your schedule. We're free until you have to pick up the kids. So we'll work around.
All right, so it's apparent some other contact has occurred. Is this time bump that we saw a few moments ago?
Yes, it's the same day, the afternoon of when it happened.
And the text bump indicates I want the money now or I'm going after the 100K, right?
Correct.
The 100K, you said it was a reward. A reward for what?
Reward for information leading to the investigation leading to the arrest of the killer for Dan Markel.
And at any time, does Donna or anyone in this case text the undercover and say, do that?
No, they didn't.
Go get the reward, solve the case.
Nope, they did not.
All right, so let's go to the next day. What did we decide about BV? We're skipping VV and we're going to WW.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, how are you?
Good, honey. How are you doing?
Good. I'm coming across the bridge now.
Oh, okay. Okay, wonderful.
Do you want to get partner or do you want to come down?
You know what? We'll meet you outside and then we can walk to the pool area.
All right, sounds good.
Okay?
All right.
Okay. Okay, I love you. Bye.
X.
Ma'am.
Hello?
So,
Yes. Yes.
I put the page outside and she can overlook it.
The what?
I put the page outside, I'm talking about piece of soup for the other one, she called me out of the blue.
Oh, you're gone?
Yeah. The page outside there, sweep you up. Okay.
I wish I was.
It's not like you go through it.
Yeah. Not that old, so, but I don't even know.
Maybe I'll help you.
No, I'm just saying like a call, so.
You got a call?
Yeah, I'm like, well, I don't know, but I'm gonna, I'm talking to my parents, and I was like, okay,
So, you sir?
yeah, so I'm like, what's going on, I don't know. Then I'll call you and I get my parents, like, okay. So like I was calling, to see what you're looking. I said, you started ringing, like, you got it.
Oh, man.
When I text you just, like, respond back to me, and say that same time thing. Right?
Okay.
Before XX, I missed an item on our sheet, meeting at pool. What does that refer to?
Charlie Adelson met with his parents at the Icon. We tried to cover it, sent some agents in to try to record, but they could not get close enough to them.
Where did the meeting occur?
It occurred like in the pool area inside the Icon.
All right, so the three of them sat down at the pool area and had a chat or something
Yeah,
else?
apparently they were in a private pool area inside the building. They were in the pool area by themselves talking.
Okay. All right, sorry I missed that. Let's jump forward to YY.
Hey, let
Hey.
let me call you in a little bit, okay? I may just call you from the landline. I'm in my friend Adam's place in Miami. Right down to the Gables, so I'll probably call you from the landline.
Right. Okay, fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll call you in a little bit.
All right, ZZ, please.
Okay.
Hey, well, like trying to find my son is like, I don't even know where he is.
Just look for the
Oh,
kid
really?
monkey bars.
Yeah, probably him, right? Okay, just give me a quick recap because, like what exactly on the test?
And I'm not asking you to do anything about it
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Oh, hi, baby. Yeah, come on. Yes, you gotta go to an appointment. Go ahead.
But the person.
Hello. Can you hear the
So
trial?
you don't take me serious.
Whoever's in here, I want to know.
And
Gotta know.
you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, the person says, so you don't take
I
me
can hear it.
serious, and you have some hooped up
Nope, I can't.
calling up baby.
Dude, I'll be
baby
back.
daddy.
And there's something. Oh, yeah. All right.
And
Okay,
so you don't know what, so you
I'm glad
don't,
you're here.
or something, and then there was
It's
something about
awesome.
for
Let me
you.
see if I can get the.
Huh?
And then there was something about like, you don't,
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't
such a
respect
pro
what
at
was done
this.
for you or something
You
like.
don't respect?
Oh, you don't?
Why can't
No,
we
you don't.
hear
He
this?
was like, he was like 20 words.
All right, then I'll see you later, alligator.
And then
I
it
gotta
was,
figure out why
yeah,
I'm so
something
stupid with this.
Huh?
God bless you for checking.
kidding.
Go, tell me.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
so you don't take him serious, and you have some poop job call me up, Katie's baby daddy.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a better feed because I really screwed that one up. I was talking to my niece. Yeah, my bad. I'm bad. So and here's your prescription.
I know.
Okay. Okay.
Nobody can protect somebody all the time. It's a 1% chance
Okay. Now,
that
can you hear?
it is a bad guy who did
Phone's
something
on. Let me know.
bad. You know, I
On, are you
worry
still on?
about
Let me know.
my dad's safety going into an office where,
No, I get you, bro. You don't gotta like.
and that's what,
Somebody's on, and they're not letting me
Like,
know.
whoa,
Please
like,
let me
no.
yeah, yeah, that's what,
Right.
you know,
And if whoever it is, if the reference is to me, you don't think I'm scared?
yeah. And whoever it is, like, whoever called, the person that I was
But
going
it's
to
like,
talk to,
no.
he called him a poop job.
That becomes even more of like, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What are you doing now? Like, is it somebody that's waiting for you to be like, hey, like.
John, you're the only one here.
Or
Well,
like somebody's trying to like mess with you, like, you know what I mean? If we just in the line. If you come.
There's a lot.
Okay, well,
like,
all right.
damn,
Well, John, I'll
that
probably
is,
see you
like,
later.
What is going on?
I'll just
and
be
then
here
they throw a lot of information.
until it
I don't
gets
know.
fun again.
That's, which is crazy. The question is, where did they get it from? And why don't we just go collect the reward, whoever has the information?
Exactly.
I'll just sit here
Right, we're saying the same thing, we're kind of repeating it, and
all by myself.
it's to the point where it's like,
So don't do anything. I just don't, it's just aggravation. So I just want my family left alone.
I'll just be all by myself. I'll be all by
That's
myself.
my day. Listen, I have a day off, so we can hang out with everybody, deal with nonsense.
All right, everybody, hot coffee here.
So-
Thank you for coming to my channel, just one person. And hey, you know what? It's all good because I know how to entertain myself.
Like when I have to like think it out of my
Anyway,
head.
I'm just going to
Like,
be
I'm all
pumpkin
over the
patch.
place because, like, you just
I love these
so much
beautiful
more of
pumpkins.
what's not
Yeah,
necessary.
so yeah, well,
No,
just
I would do that.
All right.
Off on tangents and shit. I just, listen.
I'm gonna fix this.
I know, it's not
And
because it's like, I don't even know, like, you know, I'm trying to help you out
that's it.
and figure out like what the hell's going on. So,
I wish I knew what was going on with all the fucking crazy people out there. I mean,
goodbye, beautiful.
all right, good luck with his endo appointment.
I'm gonna call him because I don't like really do anything. So,
Well, that's not your fault. All right, I'll talk to you.
Okay, next we have a text, AAA. Can we publish that, please? If you'll tell us about this text.
This text is from Catherine McManua to Sigfredo Garcia.
What does it say?
It says, "Call me if you can step out of the office for a second."
Okay. Play BBB, please.
Hello?
Yeah.
Are you home?
So, how's that the service? Did you pick up anything?
Yeah, I'm home.
Yeah.
But it was such a mission to go get him.
Much better. Hello, what's doing? Hey,
Hello?
you're coming back, Lori.
Are you
Oh,
home?
we're just listening to the tapes.
So,
Conversations,
will you
just
call
playing
when
it
the
out.
doctor called me? And was saying
Yeah,
that,
we were waiting for John to come back. John just came on. Did you see that? He said, doesn't bring it back on. And so there it is.
they texted
Other stuff.
yesterday at 2:00 in the morning, not giving a shit, not blocking
I
the
know.
number,
It's all, you know.
same freaking number that.
So that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
To help me out or whatever,
Me and
saying, obviously, you're
Hello.
not taking me seriously. You have a puta
Happy Saints Day, everybody.
who is his baby daddy, and I was like, what are they talking about? Like, he's like,
Thanks for
like,
coming
like,
on.
I don't even
Yeah, I
know
appreciate
if
it.
it's you or whoever.
Maybe others will figure out how copies on. And the reason why I'm late is because I had
I
some
don't know
issues
who
to
the hell
take care
it
of.
is. And
There's always issues in life.
you want to see your with on free or something. And this is
Hello, hey, welcome back to my chat.
But the
Hey,
funny
Nancy,
is,
how coffee
somebody
chats, the coffee chatters. You
or
are
even if
with
they're
the
talking
coffee
about
chatters
you,
today.
could be a completely different person for all I know, you know?
Yeah.
You're asking me because it's like, it seems, like, you know, because I told them, like,
Okay, let's
help
listen.
them, you know?
Try,
so I was
right,
like,
Lori?
oh, yeah, I'll try to help you out.
Okay, I'm gonna.
But it's funny how it just happened late last night at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like somebody got pissed.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, 100%.
And they're not supposed to use that number because their parents will definitely, you know, they got to how much more should they get around? I don't think anybody should go through that.
Okay.
And it's funny, like, how do
Do.
you get, you know, it's just calling his mom, like, not calling anybody else, but like, yeah, you can get, you can look it
This
up.
is
or
Garcia,
whatever.
and this is
Great.
Catherine
Your number.
with Garcia.
Yeah, it is pretty great.
I know we're just gonna have to muddle through these
I just don't like, you know, the fact that my name is being thrown out and baby
phone
daddies are being
calls.
thrown out, like, what is all that?
Yeah, I know nothing about it. So, how's that the service? Did you pick up anything?
Yeah, I know.
So welcome back.
It was such a mission to go get him.
Hey, look at this. I'm getting better at it.
Okay, so we were
Have a full
on May
screen now.
5th. Let's go to May 6th. On May 6th, does Donna Adelson call the undercover?
Yes.
How many times does she call the undercover?
I believe maybe 3 times.
Okay, does she leave a voicemail one time?
I believe so.
How many times does she actually have a conversation with the undercover?
Oh,
Just
that
once.
sounds like fun.
And
Thanksgiving
Judge, that call is
decorations.
on State's Exhibit
Yeah, I got all these
107. Move
pumpkins
to
that I'm
publish that call
doing
at this
for the
time.
church
You may.
decorations that I was showing earlier.
Hello?
Yeah,
This is
thank
Mrs.
you.
Dale.
I'm learning.
Is this, Sammy?
Okay, my grandchildren had my phone before, so, I
Can you
Learning
imagine?
curves.
I'm Mrs. Adolphson.
I figure out how I
Yes,
can put the
yes.
full screen on now.
I had my phone before, so that's, and I just saw that you called.
So, okay.
I was,
You left the message on my voicemail.
Each day I hope it gets better.
No.
this is my problem. You approached me on Alton
Is
Road.
the screen better than
You
yesterday?
handed me an article from the newspaper about my
It is,
ex-son-in-law.
but
You told me I need to call you and help your friend who is in prison. Now, at the time you did that, I didn't understand what you were talking about. I didn't call you back. Then you mailed me a threatening letter. Then you sent me a text message to my phone that says I'm not taking you seriously. So I am taking you seriously. And I really want you to listen to me.
I'm listening.
I have to tell you, I mean, this is important. I have been so stressed out. I have spoken to 10 or 12 people who are close friends
okay.
of mine.
All right.
Telling them about this and basically picking their brains and asking them what
But
I
it
should
is
do.
better.
Because I don't know your friend who is in jail. You mentioned a name. I don't even know his name. I never spoke to him. I don't know what he looks like. I've never met him. I'm sorry your friend's in jail, but I don't know what that has to do with me.
You know exactly what it has to do with. You know exactly what. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me. You just got to listen to me.
You need to
You
ask
gotta-
your friend who this person looks like, what their name is, something, because I know there's a big reward out there, and if you need
This
money from your
conversation
friend,
is interesting.
that's the way to get it. I mean, I'm asking you nicely. I don't know who he is. I am out of the loop. It is not me. If I can help, I would help. I mean, that's what.
Just like I told you, listen to me. Just like I told you that day, we know that your family had a problem up north. We know that problem was taken care of about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And we know that Katie has been taken care of and has been taken care of. Now my brother in jail, we were in Broward together. He told me the whole thing, and he hasn't been taken care of. You know. Now, all that's being asked for is 5K. That's all we're asking for is for 5K. And he told me everything, and I know everything. I know who's involved. I know everything, and I'll get the 100K for myself.
You know,
All I ask is to send the 5K. Everybody knows what's going on.
I don't, you're saying everyone knows. I know I lost my ex-son-in-law. I did not have anything to do with it. That's why I said, ask him what.
That's what my brother Tato told me. He told me everything when we were in jail. He told me everything and who was involved. I know everything.
Well, I don't. That's the problem. I'm telling you, it's not me. It's not me. I have had a year of aggravation, a year and a half of aggravation over this. My daughter, my grandchildren. It is not me. And when I ask my friends, what do they think? They say, well, this person needs to get a description of you because of what you look like, or
No,
it's not me. I don't know who caused it.
I know,
It
isn't it
wasn't me.
Isn't it just kind of like
I mean,
amazing?
I don't know.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
Just like that day when I talked to you, this is not going away. This is not going to go away. Tato told me everything. He wasn't being taken care of. He needed the 5K. Spent 5K. That's all we were asking for.
I hope
Yeah.
don't do the days. That would be weird.
I don't know who Tato is. You don't understand.
We know you don't know who Tato is, but you know who Katie is. And you know the contacts Katie has. And she has, listen to me, let's stop fucking
We're
around.
here. Oh, DPW, hello.
Okay? You know who Katie is. And you know that Katie has somebody that knows
Just
stuff.
listening, you have company with them.
And they took care of a
Yeah,
problem for
it's
you
always
people.
fun to have company.
That's just the bottom line. The bottom line is you know who
People really
the fuck
dislike
Katie is.
this defense attorney.
Look, I don't.
I'm no more than
Doing his
Mr. No, I'm not fucking around with it. You know who Katie is.
General.
You know that they took care of Katie
I mean,
and her
I don't
people.
dislike.
Nobody's taking care of Tato.
I
I know you don't know who
like his
Tato is.
style.
No,
But we know
He's
who
one of
all
those
of you are.
like that.
And this ain't going away.
you know what?
So I can give you that.
Sal,
You
can
want
you
send the 5K?
tell me who
Here's
these
what
two
you need
people
to do.
are?
You need to go and.
Don't tell me what to do. I know what to do and I'm doing it.
Donna is
You're
talking.
looking for money, get $100,000 or whatever what do you call it, whatever the reward is. It isn't me. You have got the wrong person.
Oh, I
That's
think
why
it
I
is.
said, ask your friends, your.
Jordana Adelson.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Well, I know, we know who's involved in all this.
Ooh. Deny.
Yes, this is not making any sense. I mean, if you want the money, you should get it from the police. They can give you a whole lot more than you're asking me for money for someone. I can't do this. I have had too much stress and too much aggravation from this, and I don't know what you are talking about. I just don't know.
Good. I think you should talk to Katie, talk to the people that are involved in this. You'll know. You know what's going on.
That's why I'm.
You can
Hello,
tell me,
everyone.
you can tell me all
We
you
are
fucking
back.
want, but I know you know.
To these phone
Because
calls.
I know, because I heard, when I was locked up in Broward with my brother, he told me everything.
Okay, I think this
Everything.
is the undercover
He
agent.
told me everything.
Well, then
I just wanted to take care of him because fucking Katie was being taken care of with her fucking people.
All right, everybody that's on here.
I just think instead of asking me, you should get the money from the
and
police.
hit
There's
the,
a lot of money out there,
button.
and I know, if
No,
you
it'll
think
be
you
on.
know who this is, then go ahead and do
Sounds
it,
like just,
because I know it isn't me.
Oh, it is?
It
Okay,
isn't
good, because
me.
I
And I can't
just
take this kind of
that
level
made
of
me feel
stress.
like
I
it
just
was.
can't. I know I didn't do anything.
To talk to people, you talk to the right people, you talk to people, you make this 5K come to me. That's all I need. Just do it and get it to me. Do it and get it to me.
I'll call you
Bye.
back.
Okay, so here we have Donna making the call.
Correct.
And she refers the undercover to get the reward, to the police to get the reward, right?
Yes.
And then does she also report these incidents and what's been happening to law enforcement at that time?
No, ma'am.
Does anybody report these incidents and what's been happening?
So
and
your theory is
the
Katie
stalking
got
and harassment that's been going
baby
on? Does
daddy to
anybody
do it,
report
yes.
that to law enforcement?
Blackmail Charlie and
No,
the
not at all.
family.
Do we have any evidence that Donna Adelson recorded that call
yeah.
with the undercover?
Yes.
And I'll tell them you did
Let's
it.
go
If,
to
if you don't pay me out,
CCC,
yeah, that's where the defense needs to go. Howdy! Yes, everybody hit that like button. Also hit the notification button because sometimes I like to go on just for the kicks. The phone call. Where are we now, Giselle? I think she's keeping track.
Charlie, how are you?
Good. What's going on?
Good. Well, we just finished with dinner. We drove through Blackwell Breakfast and Hotel in Miami, and we just got back to the icon. So we can go for just a little walk along the marina, and then we're gonna go upstairs.
Right, I just stepped away, I was having, dinner with you on my phone.
Okay, I'll let you go right back.
I will.
just tell you that I do have that handpiece now.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Whatever the question, any more nonsense from the patient?
Yeah, that's why, those things always get aggravating, but I try not to let that bother me.
Was it bad?
Oh, no, and I did, I loaded that new app too, I have to show it to you, I think you'll really be interested.
Okay, so you had, how long of a talk did you have?
8.
8 minutes?
Yeah,
You talked to the patient for 8 minutes,
yeah,
and they were nice?
well, not really, you know, but you,
Did they give any threats or anything, or?
Yeah, it sounds like his voice.
That's it.
I think it is.
yeah,
Donna
I thought it was very
Charlie.
interesting, but I definitely want you to, you know, I'll tell you the application tomorrow, but I wanted to make sure I got this.
Donna and Charlie
So, if that's too early for you,
heavily involved in
I
the
can
whole
do it
entire
if
thing.
you want.
the latest,
That's
I
mine.
know, I could do it at 9, but that would be the latest, we have to get up to Boca and back to Fort Lauderdale. It's tight time frame, that's the only reason, and then.
Maybe take the baby daddy to do it and the blackmail, but I think they contacted her obviously, and then she just now then she decided to really milk it and cash in.
12 or 12:30.
Okay, I was gonna take the photo at 12:30, if you want, I could wait a little bit.
So, you know what, I thought you were leaving at 11, that was the problem.
No, I was going, I'll leave at 12:30.
Like I said, it's like,
So you know what, yeah, I'll give you a call when we're leaving Boca, how's that? So it'll be definitely after 11.
I can hear better when I do that.
Yeah,
Even though I'm making a bad hair day.
yeah, but I'll call you
Oh, well.
from Boca.
Like much better.
What do you think?
Were they real talkative, or
Very,
really?
Yeah.
That's interesting too.
it is. So let me call you from then, so that.
Yes,
we can,
it does.
make sure that the time is.
We're supposed to talk a lot.
That's when I will, I'll get to see you, okay?
I feel like we're talking about a soap
That's
opera, to be
That's
honest.
actually- That's actually all very, 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 very good.
Yeah,
It is.
Because,
I think so too.
That's an
And that's
excellent.
what happened. You know, these people, they just wanted to milk
You
it.
go, enjoy your evening.
And Garcia, but I think Riviera had a wind of it, and he's all mad that she's having all this cash coming in extra because she's cashing in.
The daughter, when she got on the phone,
She's milking it.
she was so to the point, and it was a threat, and it said,
Yeah.
if you don't, by Thursday, if you don't by Thursday, return the check, I'm going to my attorney, we'll file a suit, and we'll go to court next year.
Yeah.
That's it. So which way is it gonna be? It was literally, she spoke for 20 seconds. So, I mean, that's, anyway, so it's good that they're friends.
Okay.
So I'm working, she's outside of Johnny B's.
Oh, go ahead. Sure,
But I'm-
go.
Thank you, everyone, for joining my chat room. I really appreciate you coming back. It means a lot to me.
I'll go sit in the car with you and talk, go over the case, on that.
I really enjoy this.
Yeah. I
It's-
guess
don't-
I'll show you.
It's not forget those antiques, I can
No, I know. I got them all packed up ready. I will see you tomorrow. Love you.
Sounds good, let me know.
I'm sorry.
For those two really
We
do.
can go to the next day, May 7th, 2016. I'm sorry, that's the same day. We're going from 11. Have I gone to the next day? Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. DDD is what I'm trying to go to. Yeah.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good, I'm on a boat. On a boat.
Are you with Glenn?
I'm with a bunch of people, but I got a new CD that you can listen to. Next time I see you.
Okay.
So it's interesting, but it's 100%. 100%.
100% what?
It's 100% record break, and if you want to drop the mic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
I
kind
can't
of
wait to hear it.
shit you want to play when you're just cruising along and you see a Vietnamese hot dog pig walking down the
Is
street.
it a, is it a long thing?
It's, like the track is
I thought you use a tape.
the track's long.
I mean, you're old school, you know?
I know, it's just like a long thing with a track and it's long.
As we age, movement means more than just a workout. It's how we stay active and involved.
I heard
They
it.
can hear.
I heard the track many times. I'm gonna record it. In the background.
Nice.
Well, I think they talk
Oh my
on
God, it is
Giselle,
like-
but I think they talk in
Hot dog pig.
code.
How the cutest what?
Hot belly pig.
Hot belly pig?
Yeah, you know what a pig is?
Are you serious?
Yeah, they got the cutest hot belly pig, so.
That's my thing.
Anyway.
That's my take on it.
I know.
I mean, they
like
talk.
dogs.
They don't really talk
Yeah.
about
They're-
everything because they don't want to name any names.
Anyway, I have.
I really do. I think it's all in code.
Oh, okay. You can't hear because there's music behind me and there's like.
Sorry.
I can't wait to hear your pretty singles.
I know, it's playing in the background right
Oh, yeah?
now. Yeah, dropping like it's hot. It's gonna be like one of the funny.
Do you think it's
things. I like ad-lib.
So do you think it's gonna make good hits?
Oh,
I think
thank
it's
you.
fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think
You think it'll sell a lot?
I hope so. I dropped the mic.
I appreciate that, Lori. You're coming back.
Yeah?
That's funny shit.
I appreciate everybody coming back.
I can hear it.
I really do. I'm doing this trial to the very, very end
Okay.
of the trial, just so everybody knows.
All right, then.
Okay, you can find me on my channel to the very end.
Is law enforcement commonly referred to as pigs?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh,
And this was the last call that I included. Are there several more discussing how sure he is that it is
this
in
the
fact law
last
enforcement
call?
after reviewing this call from that the mother made?
Yes.
Okay. And
the last
in this
call.
call, he says it's fantastic. Is there a lot of enthusiastic talk about that realization?
Yes, by him. Yes.
Could we show states 59, please?
Oh, okay.
I do too. I won't text John yet.
Anywhere on the wire did the defendant
Unless he's
talk about
listening.
the bump, the interactions with law enforcement, bumps, I should say, with anyone other than Catherine McBanoa or Donna Adelson?
I really want to listen to all the calls again.
Um,
I'm kidding.
possibly just his father.
Okay. Mhm. And what about Catherine McBanoa? Does she talk to anyone other than the defendant and Sigfredo Garcia about the bump or the bumps?
No, that's the only two.
Okay. And even after the 100,000% fantastic realization that this was just law enforcement fishing, does anybody go to law enforcement and report what had happened?
No, they don't.
No further questions.
Ooh,
Examination.
Thank you.
here's the part that John was waiting for, I think. Okay, no more questions, she said. Is this the end? Finally. No more no more calls. I'm gonna text John and let him know. Woohoo! Back to note taking on direct? I think so. No more calls, John. Okay.
We meet again. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your investigation revealed that Luis Rivera used burner phones in connection with this murder, right?
He used one during the murder, yes.
That he threw away, right?
We don't know what he did with the actual phone, but he quit using it after the murder.
Okay. Sigfredo used burner phones as well, right?
We're aware of him using one during the murder, too.
And you heard about on the wire that he was going to use a burner phone, right? He was going to go get a burner phone.
He talked about getting rid of his phone after he used it.
Right.
Correct.
And so did Catherine Magbanua, right?
I don't remember her saying she was going to get rid of the phone, no.
Do you recall Sigfredo Garcia telling Catherine Magbanua on the wires, we need to go get new phones?
They did go get new phones eventually after we interviewed them.
They went to Walmart to buy 2 phones, right?
Correct. After I interviewed Sigfredo and she was attempted to be interviewed. Correct.
After Sigfredo Garcia was arrested, Catherine Magbanua only used, her, to your knowledge, her burner phone, right?
No, she still used both phones, but she used them in very limited capacity.
There's no evidence that Charlie Adelson ever used a burner phone, right?
Not that we
I don't believe it. They were bored.
Not that we were able to establish.
No way.
During the wires, he always used the same phone, correct? The cell phone.
Correct, with WhatsApp.
Fair enough. There's no evidence that he ever went and bought a burner phone, right?
I wouldn't doubt it. He was napping.
I have not collected evidence of a burner phone. We did have witnesses that we interviewed make reference to him having more than one phone, but we never were able to establish that.
Never were able to corroborate that, right?
No.
And in fact, when he was arrested 8 years after the murder, 6 years after everyone else was arrested, he had the same phone number, right?
I believe he did.
He used that same phone number for more than a decade, right?
That's roughly correct, yes.
Okay. Now, the day before Sigfredo Garcia's arrest, law enforcement went to his place of work and tried to interview him, right?
That's correct, I did.
Did you say you did?
Yes, sir.
And you believe that he lied during the interview, obviously, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, at the same time that Sigfredo Garcia was being interviewed, other law enforcement went to the place where they were living, him and Katie, and knocked on the door and tried to interview her, right?
That's correct.
And she hid, right?
She did.
And you know she hid because you heard on the wires that she was making calls to a lot of people, right?
That's correct.
On all the people that she was calling on the wires, she never calls Charlie Adelson, right? When she's hiding.
While she's hiding just during that hour-long scenario, I don't believe she did, but I was in Miami. I wasn't monitoring the wire then.
But you have put in all the wires here, so you've reviewed them, right?
Yes, long time ago.
And in reviewing the wires, will you take my representation that she called 3 people and none of them were Charlie Adelson?
Sure, that sounds accurate.
And from the calls that you have reviewed and listened on the wires, it was obvious to her in fact, she said it on the calls, that the police were outside her house, right?
Correct.
So if she testified before this jury that she had no idea the police were outside her house because they didn't announce themselves, that would be a lie, right?
Yeah, I know
believe
what
at the
Shelley's talking
beginning
about.
she might not have known. By the end of it, I believe she did know. Yes.
Okay.
Jono says
Fair to say at some point when she was hiding in the house, she knew that the FBI and the police, maybe not the FBI, but she knew that law enforcement were at her front door, right?
Yes, I believe she did.
The next day when Sigfredo Garcia was arrested the next day, right?
That's correct. The next evening.
And
Because
when
they're
he was
blind.
arrested,
They're not looking at both
Catherine
sides of the
McBanawell
story.
left her townhouse and never with the kids and never came back, right?
And I tried
No, that's
to.
incorrect.
That's incorrect. She went back to live in that
It's
townhouse.
not always
No,
easy, but I
she
tried
didn't live
to.
in that house the night after we conducted the interview of Sigfredo.
Okay. Then she left.
Yes,
Okay. And she never came back.
correct.
Fair enough. Law enforcement didn't know where she was for a while, right?
Correct. She was keeping her phones off.
I'll be right
We
back. I
knew
got to
she was
check
still in a
on
state of
something. I'll be
Florida.
right
That would
back.
Give us a brief indication, and then
I got to put my picture on there.
Was against Charlie Adelson, right?
some of it was, yes.
And when that was released, he didn't flee, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Catherine McBanawell was arrested in October 2016, right?
Correct.
He didn't flee, right?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Sigfredo Garcia was convicted at trial in 2019. Charlie Adelson didn't flee, right?
That's correct.
the state announced its intention to retry Catherine Magbanua after the jury hung in 2019. Again, he didn't flee, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
And in the months leading up to her trial, he didn't flee, correct?
Correct.
Now, he did travel out of the country many times, right?
I believe so, yes.
And he traveled to some places where extradition is, at least we could say, difficult.
Could be.
Did he?
Gee, it would help if I just unmute myself. Gee, I'm batting 1,000. Oh, anyway, I'm very sorry. I thought if I was going to step out for a second, hide the camera, and come back, it's still playing. Well, no, that wasn't the case. Yes, thank you. Oh, geez. Today just doesn't seem like it's all just, routine of everything. It just seems like everything is just off. Just off. Yeah, Spacey. Nancy screwed up. But anyway, we're back.
Special Agent, we were talking about the
We're
places
back.
he went to where extradition was tough. He always came back, right?
Yes.
Now, during the course of your investigation, did you review
Hello, everybody,
text
back.
messages between
Sorry,
Katie
I
and
screwed up.
Charlie?
Yes.
I never
And
admit
did
it.
you learn
I'm never
that
afraid to
Katie
admit it.
wanted a longer, deeper relationship with Charlie as time went on?
I don't know if I recall that. There was a lot of back and forth.
Fair enough. Did you learn that Charlie didn't feel the same way?
I don't know if I recall that either.
Did you see text messages where he said, I don't want to get married, I don't want 2 kids, to that effect?
Possibly that. I mean, it's probably in there somewhere. There was a lot of back and forth between him and other females that I could be getting confused.
Do you recall him talking to a friend in text messages?
I think he
talking about a
used
trip he was
Katie.
going to take with Katie in the early to midsummer before the murder, where he told his friend it's the goodbye tour.
That sounds familiar.
Did you learn that Katie and Charlie broke up within weeks after the murder?
No, my understanding was possibly right around the time of the murder. I'm not sure. The
Yeah, I
exact timing
agree.
of
He
it,
does
though.
seem
Fair
like
enough.
he's going to get away with this.
Now, we listened to a lot of calls.
Yep.
Katie lies to Charlie when
We
she
listened
told
to a
him
lot
that
of calls, didn't we,
she would call
folks?
the undercover, right?
Correct.
She lied to Charlie when she told him that she called the undercover and there was no
Yeah,
answer.
pretty much.
Correct.
But you know what? I'm going to start my
She
day
lied
all
to
over
the
again right
she
now.
lied to Charlie
Oh,
when she
okay.
told him that the
Hey, everybody,
undercover
good
number
morning.
was a non-working number, right?
Correct.
Non-working number would be like in the old days where it goes beep, right?
That's my understanding.
She lied to Charlie when she said she called the undercover and got an answering machine. When she called the undercover.
Correct. She was not the one to make the call. Correct.
She lied to Charlie when she said she left a threatening message. She left a threatening message on
Correct.
the undercover's voicemail.
Correct.
By the way, Sigfredo Garcia may have called the voicemail, but he didn't leave any message, right?
No, that's correct. He did not.
He didn't leave a threatening message.
No.
Another lie by Katie to Charlie, correct?
Correct. Or by Sigfredo, one of the two.
After her conviction, Catherine Magbanua was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, right?
Correct.
And about a month after she was sentenced, she decided she wanted to cooperate.
I don't know the timing of it.
Fair enough. At some point after her sentencing, she wanted to cooperate, right?
Correct.
And she met with law enforcement at least twice. You were there 2 times.
That's correct.
And you met for hours.
I wouldn't. The first time I think was probably less than an hour, around an hour. And the second time I met with her was probably less than an hour.
If I told you the first time was 2 hours and 12 minutes, would you believe me?
That's what it shows us sitting in the room with her for 2 hours and 12 minutes.
That's what the notes say.
Okay, if that's what the video shows, then
Fair enough. Nonetheless, you met with her twice.
okay.
She was placed under oath.
Yes,
And we'll start with the first meeting. You believe she continued to lie.
correct.
You even tried to stop the interview the first time, correct?
I didn't stop the interview. I tried to relay to her that, yeah, it was in her best interest to tell the truth.
You didn't believe her.
I didn't believe a lot of the.
Oh, that's speculation.
Say that one more time.
Speculation. You can't give opinions about other witnesses.
That's
Just
true.
saying.
She has a
Were you frustrated?
point there.
Somewhat of some certain things I was, yes.
Was she telling you things? We'll go to your second interview of her. Were you frustrated in the second interview as well?
Yes, I was.
You didn't believe she was being. I'll withdraw. During her second interview, at one point, you said to her, "What you are telling us just doesn't make sense." Do you recall telling her that?
That sounds about right.
And this wasn't her first trial when she testified, right? I mean, I know you didn't believe her then, but this was during her
Correct.
proffers, right?
Yes.
This was just less than a year ago, right?
I don't remember the date, but that sounds right.
Now, the bump was an extortion, right?
It was a attempted extortion, correct? Somewhat.
But what law enforcement didn't know is that an extortion had already happened, right?
Don't believe there was an extortion prior.
What law enforcement didn't understand is that the things said on the recording related to the fact that there had already been an earlier extortion.
I disagree.
Do you recall on the recordings repeatedly, Charlie Adelson is talking about the characteristics of the person who did the bump?
Yes.
He's saying things like, he used his phone. He's not disguising himself. He's not giving 48 hours. He's not making a threat. Do you recall that?
I do.
Did it seem like he was comparing it to something else?
To me,
Yes.
it seemed like he was comparing it to a TV show.
Fair enough. Because you don't know what happened on July 18th, 2014, right?
July 18th, 2014.
You don't know what happened on the evening of July 18, 2014 in Charlie Adelson's house, right?
Oh, you're referring to the day of the murder. I know what happened on that day.
Yeah, that's a good
You
point.
don't know what happened in his house that night, right?
Correct.
During the bump, Charlie's way of calming his mom down, a co-conspirator, right? You consider her a co-conspirator.
I do, yes.
Charlie's way of calming down his mom, a co-conspirator, was telling her that he thought it was the police, right?
That was one way, yes.
So let me get this straight. Two people who have just done a murder prefer the bump to be a policeman rather than another co-conspirator or another bad guy.
Correct.
the only people who actually spoke to the undercover was Charlie Adelson and Donna Adelson, correct?
Correct.
And when they spoke to the undercover, they used their phones. Let me be more precise.
Okay.
When Charlie Adelson spoke to the undercover, he used his cell phone.
He used, yes, and he blocked his number when he called. Yes.
He star 67 did.
Correct.
He used his cell phone though,
You
correct?
still do that?
I believe he did. I can't remember the exact
Fair
I'm
dollar.
still
digits.
able to do that on
Fair
landlines. Hmm.
Now, the calls that you put in, you can read the words, but there's some guessing as to the meaning, correct? Of what they're talking about?
It could be, yes.
And Dolce Vita, in particular, you can't hear a lot of what Katie Magbana was saying, correct?
It's hard to hear a lot of it, yes.
There's about 100 unintelligibles when she is speaking, correct?
Correct.
And there's a missing chunk of that meeting before the recording even starts, right?
Correct. They got in the vehicle first before they went into the restaurant.
And let's talk about them getting in that vehicle. So before they get to Dolce Vita, Charlie Adelson and Katie Magbana will meet in a car.
I
He
had
pulls
no
up and she
idea. I
comes
never
out of her
tried to do
office,
it.
gets in the car, yes.
How long are
I
they
think
in that
back in
car
the
for?
day, yeah, you did.
It's an approximation around 10, 15 minutes.
I think you're right. And you don't know what was said in that car, right?
No.
Now, during this bump, you all are listening on the wires, right?
That's cute.
Correct.
Look,
And
I made a small one.
no one's paying the
Isn't it
money.
Cute.
Correct.
And part of what you're
While
hearing
listening,
is
while watching you
that
guys, I could do
the
3
threats
things at
aren't big enough.
once. I'm not writing much notes
No, I
though.
disagree with that.
Okay. Let me ask it this way.
Just saying.
It starts with a bump on the street, right?
Right.
Anybody else
And
taking
we
notes for
watched
me?
it. The gentleman
I.
who's playing Aladdin King. He's a little bit
Oh,
polite. Can we say that?
yes. I gotta put a little stem in it.
He's the nicest Aladdin King I've ever seen in my life.
Cute
Correct.
thing.
There's
He's so
reasons.
precious.
Uh,
I love Minnie stuff.
the next event that
This
happens
is leftover
is,
yarn. Oh,
well, there's a
sorry.
bunch of events, but let me tell you the next
Oh,
progression.
there's a whistle.
Is a letter is delivered to Donna and Harvey Adelson's apartment.
Correct.
So now you've gone from the
Correct.
and the letter is a little more threatening,
A little bit.
and still no one pays.
Correct.
And then there's a couple calls to the office. There's a call to the office.
Correct.
Still no one pays.
Correct.
And then there's a text message that comes at like 2 or 3 in the morning to Donna Adelson, right?
Yes.
And the timing is kind of important, right?
It could be taken that way.
And the text message is definitely more threatening.
Yes.
Thank you for everybody for returning back. Appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and notification buttons on so you know when I go on.
Now, going to the wires very briefly. Don't worry, I'm not going to go over them all with you.
Thank you.
Thank God. Oh God.
Do you recall some
Be horrible
wires
if we did.
around April 26 where Katie and Sigfredo are fighting?
Of 16, yes.
And some wires that were not played in court.
Oh my God.
But do you recall that they were fighting about something completely different than this case?
Could have been.
They were fighting about a girl that Sigfredo found, that Katie found on Sigfredo's cell phone
Sounds vaguely familiar.
with a tattoo.
I don't remember that part.
And do you recall that the day before or 2 days before the letter, law enforcement sends the letter to Donna and Harvey Adelson, that Katie actually leaves the house? She leaves him.
I do recall her leaving the house at some point. I don't remember the timing though.
And the call that Ms. Kappelman played for you, where they're fighting, Sigfredo in the beginning of the call thinks that she's talking about, like he says, you need to make an appointment to see your son. Recall that?
Yes.
And it's because she has just left the house the day before.
Sounds correct.
She's
Yes.
left him.
Correct.
And she says to him in the text message, listen, I got to talk to you about something else.
Yes.
You recall that?
I do.
And you recall that Charlie Adelson finds out that these two are having problems, and he freaks out.
I don't remember that. I remember him talking to her about their separation and trying to encourage her.
And he's encouraging her to get back together with him, right?
I do remember that, yes.
By the way, Ms. Kappelman asked you after the last bump text that was received in the early morning by Donna Adelson. She asked you if anyone actually told the undercover, go to the police and collect your reward. You remember her asking you that question?
I thought that was before that text message.
Well, let's just make this clear, whether it's
Okay.
before or after.
Okay.
Isn't it true that that's precisely what Miss Adelson, Donna Adelson, told the undercover? If you have information, go to the police.
She did at that point. That's correct.
Right? That's what she said.
On that call.
Now, she didn't want to go to the police. She never went to the police, right?
Correct.
Charlie never went to the police.
No.
And you don't know why. You guess why, but you don't know why.
There's reasonable belief, yes.
But you don't know why he didn't go to the police.
Can't read his mind, no.
May I have one moment, Your Honor?
Oh. All right, guys, what do you think, huh? Is he doing damage control at all? I don't know. He would like this, and I just text him that that they stopped the calls. You can see he'd be here
Looking
shortly.
at those text messages, by the way, after
He's got the link.
the night of July 18th,
He got some good insight on it.
do you see a decrease in text messages initially? So if you're looking at July to September between Charlie Adelson and Catherine Magbanua.
A decrease in text message. You're talking about 2014?
Yeah, initially.
I'd have to go back and look. I don't recall.
Do you see that the relationship, though, as time goes on, gets stronger? Not boyfriend, girlfriend, but does definitely get stronger.
I don't recall.
Now, I want to just make sure that something was clear yesterday because I think it was a little confusing. And I don't think it was on purpose, but I want to make sure that the facts are clear.
Sure.
After Professor Markel was murdered, Wendy Adelson gave complete access
What?
to the Markels. Isn't that true? Until the email was sent.
don't
I see
know
video.
about complete access, but I know when that email was sent, there were things that were cut off.
Fair enough. But before the email was sent, there was a different type of access.
There was better access. I could say that.
Do you recall, and you know what, let me set it up first. It might take a second, Your Honor.
Oh, exhibitees? We got some exhibitees. Exhibity doos. Oh boy.
It's SX 130. It's your exhibit 130 on the wires. Call 989.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I saw your.
Hold on 1 second, Your Honor.
Okay, so now we're. Yeah, John would like this part.
Dave call?
Which one?
The first call I think that was played yesterday. It was a call about Charlie and Donna's affection for Dave.
Oh, Dave's coming back again, everybody.
And do you recall that Miss Kappelman played 19 minutes and 11 seconds of that call? And then she stopped it.
I don't recall how much or when, but that's possible, yes.
Whoa.
Well, let me play when it was stopped.
Okay.
Okay. That's fair.
If I just play it, is it going to go on this thing? Sorry.
Okay, Dave is in the picture. Right. Interesting. Oh, wouldn't it be terrible if John comes back and sees this call?
While we
Whoops, we lied.
do a test before I ask a question.
Go ahead.
To make money, they already have their kids.
Okay. Did it work in the headphones? No. All right. Well, I think we can hear it. Pretty loud. See if we can hear it. I'm going to play you at 20 minutes and 20
Looking
seconds.
to make a whole want to make money. They already have their kids. I'm not looking to make a whole.
She owes it to those kids.
Yeah, but
She has an opportunity that she would throw in the garbage, and then these kids, and believe me, that's it. They're not going to have another dad.
No. Well,
And
it was a listen. They had a dad. It's a tragedy. What happened?
Yeah. Well,
what I'm
here's an
telling you.
So there, 20 minutes and 25 seconds into the call, about 2 minutes after Miss Kappelman stopped it, Charlie Adelson says it's a tragedy what happened to their dad, right?
Yes, he did.
And that was in response to his mom saying Dave would be a great dad, right?
Correct.
And Charlie says they already had a dad and it was a tragedy what happened to him.
He did.
When Charlie Adelson said that on this call, that was stopped before this jury. When he said that on that call, that's before the bump.
I believe it was, yes.
That's 21 months after the murder.
Oh.
He had no idea whatsoever that he was being recorded.
I would probably disagree with that.
But the other stuff, remember yesterday, she brought in other stuff about Dave and she asked you those same questions. She said this is before the bump. Your caller asking you that?
Yeah, it was before the bump.
And she said it was almost 2 years after the murder.
Correct.
I'll leave it at that, Agent. No further questions.
Wow.
Redirect examination.
She'll have it.
Point being, 2 years after the murder, they're still screwing around in Wendy's love life. Is
That's
that what happened?
That is correct.
Mhm.
All right. A couple other things. You were asked about, Mr. Rashbaum referred to it as the goodbye tour. I recall it as the farewell tour, but you know what? We're talking about the breakup trip between Catherine Magbanua and this defendant.
Early July, I believe.
Okay. Is it your recollection that that was the end of that actually was the end of their relationship, or is there evidence that they continued seeing each other for some time after that?
I believe there was a little bit of, I believe there was some seeing after that.
Okay. Would the text messages refresh your recollection on that
They
issue?
would. They would. It's been a while.
I have these for you to take a look and see if the blue tabs refresh your recollection.
Okay.
Does that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
So when does it appear that Catherine Magbanua and the defendant broke up?
It appears like in August, around August 25th,
Around August 25th of 2014?
2014.
All right. And did they continue to stay in contact to varying degrees throughout the time from their breakup to the arrests in this
Yes,
case?
they did.
Did you have an opportunity during your investigation to conduct any surveillance on Catherine Magbanua and Sigfredo Garcia?
Yes, we did.
All right. And did you, well, let me ask you if you've ever worked on or heard of a case where an extortionist commits their crimes wearing a fake Abe Lincoln beard and a floppy hat?
No, I'm not.
Did you ever observe Catherine Magbanua or Sigfredo Garcia dressed like that?
No, I didn't.
No further questions.
You may step down, Agent. Please call your next witness, State. Please call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the state rests.
Ooh.
Members of the jury, we're going to take a break at this point.
Ooh.
The bailiff will escort you back into the jury room.
The state rests. Good. Oh, I better text John here. State rests. Is that what I hear? Did I hear that? John, come back. I know I texted him. Come back. Come back.
Defense have any motions to raise at this point?
We do, Your Honor. Your Honor, we renew all previous motions and objections for the record, and we would.
I know,
for
I did.
judgment
I just
of
did.
acquittal.
Spacey. I just did.
As to which charge or charges?
All three, Your Honor. As to the
State
first count,
arrest.
principal to first degree murder.
They did not prove his guilt.
The evidence presented.
Oh, hello, Rocky
No
Shore.
contact between Mr. Adelson.
Thank you. Welcome to my chat room.
No substantive contact. And,
Yeah.
the shooters. The only direct evidence of Mr. Adelson's involvement came from.
Okay,
Captain
I did
Manuela. She
send
testified
him the link to
that
come in.
Mr. Adelson,
The state rests.
I believe at Halloween, asked her to rough up Professor Markel, and that at some point, a piece of paper.
I agree,
in an
Spacey. I
envelope
do.
in her paper bag that she never read.
I think after this
Testified
whole
she didn't know
series of
about the
this,
trip to
I think they
Tallahassee,
just
and she didn't even know that
rest.
Professor Markel had been shot as of July 18th. So I don't believe that there's
I don't
sufficient
know.
evidence to go to the jury on the element of whether Mr. Adelson did or said anything to cause or assist another to commit the actual murder. On the conspiracy to commit murder, Your Honor, again, there's no evidence of any agreement or any contact between the Adelsons and the shooters. The evidence from Mr. Rivera is that Katie Magbanua was the mastermind, and at most, again, as I said earlier, Ms. Magbanua's testimony reflects really that there was this request in October to rough up Professor Markel.
Okay.
And on the solicitation point, Your Honor.
John said he'll be in about 10 minutes or so.
Response?
One correction on that recitation of facts.
All
Your Honor.
right.
Catherine Magbanua testified or clarified her testimony that she didn't know the person who was shot was named Dan Markel, but she did know that she was solicited by and conspired with this defendant to commit the murder of Wendy Adelson, his sister's ex-husband, which was done.
And applying the standard which the court must at this point, which is the evidence must be viewed in the light most favorable to the state, the motion for judgment of acquittal is going to be denied. As to all prior motions and objections that the defense is once again raising, that is noted for the record. Does the defense need a brief break to discuss its case before we bring back in the jurors?
Yes, we will, Your Honor.
All right, we'll
Yeah,
take
she
a
was.
10-minute break. Actually,
All right, you guys, 10-minute
we'll
break.
make it a 13-minute
wow.
break. We'll get started
So
again
here
at
we are.
3:30.
I was going to ask for 20.
So here we are. The state is resting. So I did text John to come back. And
Sticker Mule is the internet's favorite printer.
come on. Wow. Oh, Giselle, what is the consensus around the chat rooms and other channels? We won't mention the channels, but just kind of like, what are you getting a feel of? Wow. Yeah, well, yeah, we already knew that. I guess that's all we can say. Well, we don't know. You know, the thing is, as long as I've been following trials now, we don't know what the jury is going to do. We don't. We'll be surprised. Oh yeah, they think he's guilty. Sure. Yeah, and I also get, I don't know, Giselle, I mean, you making a, I want your opinion after I say this. I also get the opinion that the state was really good about presenting their case, but I don't think I think I think sometimes they did and sometimes they didn't. Right. But I don't know. I mean, you just can't guess the juries, what they're going to do and what they're going to say. You just can't do it. And, who's surprised in chat room that they rested already? I don't know. Anybody think, are you surprised, Giselle, that the state? Tenset's trial update, CCW, the state rests. Yeah, me too, Rocky. Me too. And by the way, Rocky, thank you for stopping by in my chat room. I don't think I ever recall seeing you, but I think it's great. Okay. Actually, I'm going to pull this up. She makes a good point. Everybody else in the chat room and know more about this case. Of course, they connect the dots, but if you're asking me to do it in a matter of a couple of weeks, I don't know. I'm like you. This is ongoing to me. This really is. This is like a nonstop. I mean, this makes Murdoch trial like tame. Oh wow. Yeah, that's true, CCW. I think we all were napping. I think I was napping at the end of the day. Would wanted to. Oh, wow. Hey, you guys, let me ask you this. Yeah, she is. Are you all surprised that the state is resting? I mean, is anybody surprised? Who wants be honest, I'm glad they're resting because what more can they say? I think they should have rested before the phone calls, to be honest. The state rests. We'll have John back in a few minutes. I think too much going on in this trial for such a lousy state presentation. Disorganized out of context. Okay, we like to show your comment here. I don't know. But here's what I think, okay? I think in the long run, we are all going to have our own opinions. We're all going to have our own speculations. We're all going to have our own theories. But in the long run, we don't know what the jury is going to do. We have no clue. We could say all this stuff, but it just depends on what the jury is going to say. I agree with you, Spacey. They should have ended about 6 hours ago. Yes, correct. I totally agree with that. And I also think that what else could they have talked about? Yeah, it's going to be a guilty birthday. I think they probably will. So, yeah. Yeah, we don't even know what the verdict's going to be. It's all up in the air. You never know what the juries are going to do. You know, a lot of times I was surprised or not surprised, or you know. Yeah. Guilty verdict and guilty birthday. I think I had guilty birthdays before. Don't ever blame. Don't ever say things like that in front of a baby boomer with our guilty birthdays. Jeez. Oh, honey, we love you. I wish we can hear your voice. I love accents, especially Spanish and yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. How do you think the boredom, the last victim? What are you gonna do? Bore here? That's really a good. That's really a good comment. We're gonna bore the jury, and then you're gonna rest. We bored you now. We bored you this far. Now we're gonna rest. We are going to rest. Yep. That's yeah. Oh. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna do a little poll here. One, you are surprised the state rest. Two, you're not surprised. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm really clear. This is what I'm really curious about. Okay, you're surprised. You're surprised. You're not surprised. I'm a little surprised. And guess what, everybody? Guess who we have?
Good afternoon.
Are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, here we are, you guys. All right, John, I'm gonna let you take it away.
Dear God, please let me know what I missed.
You know that the state rest.
Wait, the state rested?
I told you that in the text.
Yeah, presume that I don't actually know anything. We have an audience.
We presume you don't know a damn thing, huh? Yeah.
Well, I'm presuming that there are people coming in now that don't necessarily know anything. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Are you surprised?
So the state rested on this guy?
No, they rested on the case.
No, obviously, but I'm saying he was their last witness.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
They had other people on the list.
I know.
Why would so you like Rocky said, you're gonna bore them to death and then you're just gonna arrest?
That's what I'm saying is that's stupid. I don't That might take a minute. I didn't realize the state rested. I figured they were going to. When you were texting me, you were saying that they had finally finished with the audio clips.
Right, I did. And then I think I also told you
I don't
state
think you
rest.
told that the state
I said
actually.
state rest, come back, legal stuff.
I don't think that you told me that they actually rested their entire case.
Well, maybe I said, well, I don't, you guys really, seriously, am I just,
Maybe I'm wrong.
no, because then the judge says,
I'm
you're ready
just
to,
see that. I'm shocked to hear that this early because now
Well-
it's the defense's case in chief.
yeah, and then the judge says, state, are you ready to present your case?
Which he kind of had that backwards. Because it's now defense, are you ready to present your case in chief? Guys, I don't know. It's gonna take me a minute or two, but are any of you interested in throwing out there what the defense's case in chief is going to start with?
Oh,
and Nancy, you're more than welcome as well to join.
Oh, no. I really do want you to kind of take over the show a little bit now because you're back. We have the legal stuff. And yeah. I think it's, go for it. Nope. You have the floor.
So the way that I would frame this, given what we've seen, this is the entirety of the state's case in chief. This is really where they decided to close shit. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the state had one obligation. One and only one. It was to prove beyond a reasonable doubt in your minds that my client had, you could take your pick. This was what the state did for you. They either want you to believe that he personally murdered Dan Markel. They want to believe. They want you to believe that he was a co-conspirator in all of this, and at the same time, they want you to believe that he was the one that hired the killings. One, all things can't be true. You have to pick one. And the state had the opportunity over the course of the last 5 days to present evidence. So over the last 40 hours, more than that, because we went longer than 8 hours a day, the state was allowed to present you with evidence. And so what I want you to think as I go into my openings, as I go into this, again, you don't get that opportunity in reality, but whatever. Let's go. After 40 hours, has the state convinced you of any of those three things? Yes or no? And the reality is the defense attorney is not going to have that opportunity to make that opening statement again. But I actually, in this particular case, I might have reserved the opening argument.
I'll be right back. Okay. Why don't you take over? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a second. All right. You have the floor. Okay.
All right, I'm here.
All right. This is your show right now.
No worries. But yeah, when it's all said and done, I think that's your best argument. Rocky, oh, I can't pull up your chats because I gave her control of my show. I don't have control of hers. But yeah, Rocky says no. I'm pretty much there. It's like, they gave their entire case, they're passing over the floor. Is that enough? Yeah, Stacy, I agree with you too as well. I don't think that he was the mastermind. I think that he was maybe a useful link, but I don't see how he's at the top of the chain at all. That's just the way that it is. And so we're gonna have to hear more from not have to, but we're going to hear more from the defense that is going to knock this down. But as far as I'm concerned, and this is an honest question that I would like to ask from each and every one of you. Have you heard enough from the state to convince you that beyond a reasonable doubt, Charlie is guilty of either murder, conspiracy for murder, or
Yes, sir.
solicitation of murder?
Go ahead, everyone.
Have you
can be
heard
seated.
enough? Because if the state's
Then from
done,
there, we'll address the defense's
and your
case.
answer is no, then the answer ought to be not guilty. That's
All right. Thanks, John.
That's it.
They believe this. Here, John.
I think the slam dunk. It's not a slam dunk. I think it was extraordinarily powerful. That's a very fair point. Like I said this morning, that those calls being introduced were not helpful for the defense.
No. Not at all.
But that doesn't mean that the battle's over.
No, we got to hear from the defense. I don't think they're going to have that. I don't know. It'd be interesting how many witnesses they'll have.
So, but here's the point that I'm trying to make, and we'll see as they're introducing the next witness. The reason why I asked that question of everyone is if the state doesn't prove their case, then as a matter of law, the defense doesn't have to do anything.
Oh. Well, how would you get to that point, though?
Do you think the state proved their case?
Not 100%, no.
Beyond a reasonable doubt?
It's too wishy-washy for me to say that.
Okay.
Reasonable doubt. That's a commitment.
We discuss
I need
timing
more
of the
too.
defense's case before we bring back in the jury.
I don't think they should have done that, but hey.
Are you planning to call any
I don't think
witnesses
they
at all?
should have.
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't think you should have opened.
And would this include the defendant or other witnesses
Of
first?
course, I'm not an attorney. I don't have a law degree, but I tell you, I still have
Very well.
others. I don't know.
Please call your, well,
You
we'll bring in
need
the
a
jurors
better-
and you may call your first witness from there. Do you wish me to colloquy the defendant at this
All right, guys.
You've also got to. You have to get a better internet provider.
I think I'd rather wait till after.
These are baby steps, okay? I just paid my fee to have more hours.
Keep them guessing to the very end. Please bring in the
Baby
jurors.
steps. Baby steps.
Here,
I'm surprised I got this far.
Let me do this. I'll share the screen from my feed.
All right. Go for it. But you're right, you know.
Just give me a second.
I'm not a pro like you are.
Nobody's a pro. That's the point of learning.
Just wait in the gallery for right now.
Put that into the feed. You have to click bring to the show, and then you have to take down yours. See? That's a little cleaner.
Where are you getting that from?
Same feed. I just happen to have faster internet.
Oh, well, my husband's not going to change the internet because of this, but he should.
It's a little
How do you want to
clear.
be? Huh?
It's a little clearer, right?
Yeah. We'll have you on again. I'm just kidding. You're always on my channel. Are you kidding me? You're part of the coffee rants. Look at her. She praying. Oh no, she's looking at her phone. Well, it's delaying now, and I usually get a bit.
I was going to make a lewd joke, but I figured that was probably not appropriate.
We're glad. Just put it this way: we're all glad you're here. You make it fun.
Hopefully I make it educational as opposed to fun. You're here for the
You're
fun.
doing-
I'm here for the
both. You're doing both. That's right. Here you go. This one's for you, John.
Yeah, but you know what, CCW? There was a great comment from, I think it was like Lego Island, where it's like, you know, I've got to go back to practicing medicine. I don't know why they call it practicing. I'm already a doctor. So what am I practicing?
Or you're not. You're already a doctor, Dr. Google.
This was back to Lego Island. Like Lego, the
Oh.
little building bricks. You don't have the audio on, or I don't have the audio on. Jesus, that's my fault, not yours.
I am.
Do you specialize in any areas of practice?
I do. I
Okay,
specialize
wait a
in
minute. What's
marital
going on here? I
family
got to
law.
shut mine off.
I'm board certified since
There.
1994, I think, in marital and family law by
Oh.
the United States, by the Florida State Supreme Court. I also
Marital and family law, is this
am a
the
fellow in the
psychologist?
American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, former
Yeah, this.
president of the Florida chapter.
Oh,
I'm a
shit.
fellow in the International
this is family
Academy
attorney.
of Family Law Lawyers. I have been
How is she
named
allowed
a
to
Florida
speak?
super lawyer in family law and best lawyers in America
I'm
since
sorry, I didn't catch
2008,
your name.
specifically Tallahassee Best
Okay.
Family Law Lawyer in
By the way,
2012 and
Best
2014.
lawyers of America, best.
You mentioned earlier
whatever.
that you are a board certified lawyer. What does that mean exactly?
To be board
it means you
certified,
did a
the
check.
Florida Supreme Court promulgates a list of criteria
means
that
you
you
wrote
have
a
to have
check.
to become board certified in a specialty area. and you have to pass a test, both written
No, you don't.
and oral, and a peer review by your peers and the
Yes, he
court
does.
as well. And you have to pass all three
False.
of those things in order to become board certified.
You mentioned in your introduction that you were Wendy
Okay,
Adelson's attorney.
I've got to
in
pause.
her-
Oh, Wendy. Okay, pause
I've
it.
got to pause this because
Okay.
this happens so many times. Do you know what it takes to become a board certified lawyer?
What?
You write a check.
Oh, she's Wendy's lawyer.
Yeah.
Why? What is going to be?
I have no idea where she's going with this, but there's a
Okay.
reason why I took a break.
All right, I'm gonna let you have the
Do
floor.
you know, I swear to God, honestly, it cost me $80 to become part of the Young Lawyers Division. It cost me $60 to become part of the Criminal Trial Division. It cost me another $60 to become part of the Family Law Division. It cost me another $60 to become part of the Medical Division. All of those are board certifications. So bull. My answer is bull.
Stevens against Professor Markel. When were you retained?
I was retained, I think, approximately October of 2012.
And Nancy,
Did
you
there
let me
come a
know
time
if you want me
during
to
your
flip this
representation
over
of
back
Wendy
to my
Adelson
channel.
that you
Either
filed a
way, I'm
motion?
happy
Yeah,
to
let's
help
do.
you.
Let's all go to John's.
I did. I
Do you think
filed
it's
that
easier, John, to go to
motion,
yours?
almost immediately after I was
I just don't
retained.
have the
I
same
filed an
control.
amended petition for
No,
But
you
dissolution
didn't.
of marriage
I'm happy to have this
to
done.
request that she be allowed to
No,
relocate and a temporary
it's up to you.
motion that she be allowed to relocate. So
Yeah,
that would
let's
have been
just
in
let it sit
2012.
here.
Is there anything wrong
Let's
with
see if we can get some
asking the
people.
court for permission to relocate?
All right, guys.
No, it's a
Should we go back to
especially
John
in
or you
Tallahassee
stay
because it
here?
is kind of a transitory community with the college and everything. It's fairly common for when people get divorced.
Why don't you
for
go
one
ahead
party
and do
to want
that?
to
Get off of
relocate
this, and
somewhere
then we'll all
else,
go to
either back
yours.
where their family
And
is,
send me a
or
link.
they graduate
It's
from
cold
school and they
here.
want to move to someplace else because
We'll
of a
sit
job
here.
or they remarry. We do file these relocation requests fairly often.
You have control.
In
Do
Leon
it. Go-
County, in
how
your
can I give you
experience, how
control?
often are such motions
Give me a
granted?
second.
So that is the kicker. Even though we filed them, I have now been practicing 35 years, and I think I've only actually won one that was allowed to relocate. They're very hard to do, and you have to have pretty serious circumstances that require the relocation.
Did you share that statistic with Ms. Adelson?
I did. I thought she had a shot at it because of all the facts surrounding her case, but I did tell her that it's very unlikely that we will win this.
I want to give you
I
those
did tell her
privileges.
that if you do plan to relocate or want to relocate, you need to do it now in this initial proceeding and not wait until everything's over and then ask. So we made that tactical decision to at least attempt to relocate.
And what was her reaction to that?
Commenting on.
She wanted to be able to try. So we did. We filed the motion for relocation.
Was that motion ever heard by the court presiding over her divorce?
Yes, it was. We filed it and we set it for hearing for any number of reasons. The hearings kept getting, the legal proceedings take a long time sometimes and things get complicated. It kept getting pushed off, but ultimately, I think it was around June of 2013 that we had a hearing about that relocation issue.
Yeah, I think a little bit of magic.
The court said no. she
But
could
we
not
are
go.
going to
What was
flip
Wendy
this
Adelson's
over.
reaction to the court's ruling?
She was pretty.
I don't know how.
Ms. Adamson, you may
A
testify
little
to
bit
what
of,
you recall about
magic.
what you observed from your client, but not your actual words.
So she was pretty calm about the whole
If you will
thing.
do a favor,
She
silence
seemed
yourself.
to understand that
The link
it
I
was
just sent.
not a given that
I
it would
will
happen,
flip
that it's
this
usually
over.
a long shot. And I spoke with her afterwards, right after the proceeding, and then I spoke with her several times afterwards to
What are you
sort of
doing?
decompress. And she
I'm trying
seemed
to
fine about it. She
restart
understood.
all of this.
Pretty
There's been-
resigned to the idea of it.
There's been some testimony in this case that in the wake of that denial, the Adelson family was considering offering Professor Markel a certain sum of money, $1 million, to allow Wendy Adelson and
What I'm
Dennis to
going to do
relocate to South
is
Florida.
I'm going to
Are
pause.
you aware of that?
We're going to flip over to my stream.
On here?
You have the link
Where's the link at?
on your email. And
All
this
right.
one.
End it?
And this one.
Okay, guys, we're going to end and we're going to go right to John's.
And we're going to keep this going. We're not losing anything. We're just switching over the channels.
Okay, so do I end or do I wait until you get there?
Wait until you get there.
All right. Okay.
But once you're with me on the other one, it's just going to be,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
and basically just a feedback loop. So we're going to do this quickly.
Okay.
You're on mine. Okay, so mute yourself, end your feed, and we'll just keep going from here.
I'm just going to get rid of it. Bye, everybody.